And
Nationals, Nico Almendras, Puds Budin, Obed Mokaba, Ken Malinis, Oare Tamar, Choi Diao, and Mano Sumagi. And you still undefeated in our conference. VNS won Alicia with 1 loss on the other end. They have Ronnie Adviento, Kim Malabunga back in action alongside Yong Mendoza, Ben San Andres, Ish Polvorosa, Kevin Montemayor, and Owa Cruz. Again, we welcome you to our coverage. Mix Gomez at your service alongside Ayel Estranjero and Ayana Perlas. Ayel, in our matchup today, we're seeing one team that's currently undefeated. They're the tallest team in the league going up against VNS, who obviously have a lot of interesting characters when they play on the court. But what do you want to see, especially from VNS, who look like to be the underdogs coming into this matchup?
You know, we've seen NU Santa Elena really playing well in terms of offense. So I think the floor defense and the blocking of VNS will be very integral in today's game.
Ish Polvorosa will send it over to Montemayor. We talked about him at the top of our coverage. And let's talk about him being left-handed at this point already. So ano ba ang nagiging advantage ng mga lefties in volleyball as you take a look at the opening play?
No, I'm speaking out of experience from training. No? When there's a lefty on the other side of the court, there's a lot of preparation going on, especially na you adjust in blocking, you adjust in defense. So yun yung mga preparation siguro na iba talaga na kailangan mo when you're playing against a lefty.
Is there also a difference as ball goes out para sa NU Santa Elena? It's 2-0 right now for VNS. Is there a difference when you're guarding a lefty from the open compared to the opposite?
Yeah, definitely. So nag-a-adjust talaga yung blocking formation mo, where you establish yourself in terms of blocking. And when you adjust the blocking, nag-a-adjust din yung floor defense. So, you know, in today's game, a lot of adjustments is needed, especially that both teams are also good in terms of offense, given that we have two really good setters.
Of course.
With Retamar and Ish Polvorosa.
Something that Ayel will surely notice.
And enjoy in today's game.
VNS enjoying the action early in this match. They were able to get that ball off of the blockers of NU Santa Elena. Remember, NU is the #1 blocking team in the league. And there you see the attack from Montemayor, this time from the right side of the court.
Really, Ish Polvorosa maximizing the power and the elevation of Montemayor early in the set.
Polvorosa actually went up against VNS in the Champions League as we get to see a service ace mula kay Ben San Andres. Ish Polvorosa, one of the 3 additions in this lineup for Coach Ralph Ocampo. We mentioned magkakasama na yung core niya since last year. And for you to be able to add such a legendary setter, especially in UAAP volleyball, what does that say, and how does it add to the potential of VNS?
No, it speaks a lot when Ish Polvorosa is inside, given that his leadership in terms of offense has been tested already in the UAAP. He's a multi-awarded best setter.
Pero sa ngayon, si Owa Retamar ang nagpapakitang gilas, giving that ball to Ken Malinis, who was their recruit from Perpetual in the NCAA, a team that was undefeated in season 95. Back set, Montemayor. Ball up. Owat gives it up. This is what we missed from men's volleyball. Intense rallies. Grabe yung baon ng mga bola. At buhay pa rin. Cruz will give it over. Montemayor, naibalik. Longest rally so far. Miscue right there. Miss-hit para kay Owa Retamar. And even worse for NU. Ower seems to be shaken off here early in this match.
Seems to be touching his right knee.
Take a look at what happened. VNS will take this point off of that hit kay Ronnie Adviento. How agad si Owa Retamar sa kanyang kanang tuhod. Nairegalo. But VNS, their players hit the net, so it is a violation against the blue shirts.
No, one thing also very important for VNS right now is that they really stay patient with their defense, because the offense of NU Santa Elena is really good in terms of power and decision making. So their defense, floor defense especially, will be very integral in today's game.
Now this guy is also going to be integral for VNS. Kim Malabunga returning after missing a couple of games due to a right ankle injury. And how about Kim Malabunga, Ayel, going up against his former school?
Exactly. So it's going to be very interesting how he will actually gel with VNS coming from a system that he used to play for. So, pwede rin nating sabihin that he knows the system and it's going to be in his advantage.
Right. Sakto yung kanyang pagbabalik para sa VNS 1 Alicia. Just last year, he was playing for Air Force under Coach Dante Alinsunurin. Malabunga again, able to score back-to-back for VNS. Don't look now, the score is 7-2.
Malabunga so far really knowing which target, which zone to target. No, like what we said earlier, yun nga yung advantage niya, no? Like, kilala niya na yung system ng NU. So, it's really a big advantage for him.
But Ayel, as much as we talked about the height advantage of NU Santa Elena, si Kim Malabunga pa rin ang pinakamatangkad sa ating Taraflex.
Exactly. Like, we talked earlier about how NU has a bigger advantage in terms of height. But, pag in-average mo siguro because of the height of Kim Malabunga.
Right there, a violation against the blue shirts. Point number 3 for Santa Elena, and there you see the shot blocking, or the blocking at the net defense of NU.
So far, they actually have probably already 51 blocks. Before this game, they had 48 blocks in total.
And Mukaba himself had 17 coming into this matchup. Polvorosa with the 1-2, able to outsmart the defense of the yellow shirts. That brings us to our first technical timeout. 8-4 our score. VNS off to a good start.
Tuloy lang natin. Tuloy natin yan sa'yo. Bubut! Aggressive pre, aggressive tayo. Sayang yan. Pasok na yun. Litabot sa salita lang. Wala pre. Tara. Salita kasi tayo. Magsalita tayo. Bawat isa magsalita. Magsalita ka pre. Sayang yun. Pasok. Tara. Bawal. Tara. Tara na. Go pre.
Great start here. And speaking of their squad, let's go to our courtside reporter, Ayana Perlas.
Yes, let's talk about the VNS One Alicia Griffins once again. Specifically, Kim Malabunga finally back on the court, like what you guys mentioned earlier, after a right ankle sprain injury. Now, I was able to talk to Kim Malabunga earlier, and he talked about how excited and happy he was to finally be going against his former team for the second time. But this time, he wants to use this game as a motivational game against NU. Why? Because going against a senior is motivational for the NU team, and also he wants them to realize that even if they're going against a really strong team like VNS, he wants to see kung kaya ba nila ulit maging triple back-to-back champions for the UAAP this year. So this is the motivational game he wants to set as a senior against NU. Back to you guys.
That's perfect. Ayal, iba pa rin talaga yung motivation na nakuha mo mula sa mga seniors mo in your university.
Exactly. No, it's been a tradition that when you're a senior from a certain university, you guide the younger ones. And that's what Kim Malabunga wants to do right now. And like what he said, the learnings that they will have here, it's going to be integral for them to bring in the future tournament, especially the UAAP.
And as Santa Elena scores, is it right that when it comes to that type of guidance from your seniors, tough love talaga ang uso?
There's different kinds of love, but siguro from Kim Malabunga, he wants that kind of love. Tough love talaga sa mga juniors niya.
Well, after that report from Ayana Perlas, it seems to be, but let's hope that it's gonna work for NU Santa Elena. Get to see that attack from Kevin Montemayor. Very deadly as a lefty for VNS. It's 10-5 right now. Back row. That's a beautiful hit from Ken Malinis.
That's what we talked about also earlier, that with the talent and the power of the spikers of NU Santa Elena, Retomar can really go to any player. Lahat ata ng spikers niya go-to player niya, and that's really a big advantage for them in terms of offense.
And Malinis has scored 29 points before this match, number 15 in the league in scoring. Unfortunately, it is a service error mula kay Mukaba. 11-6. Ayel, are you more impressed with the start of VNS, or are you disappointed with the start of NU?
I'm just excited to be here, Mix. Now, it's interesting to see that both teams really have good defense. But again, the service reception of NU Santa Elena was the reason why they won the last game. It was one of the biggest reasons why they won their game against Santa Rosa. And with a good service game of VNS so far, yung first ball nila is being challenged. And that could be the reason why VNS is up by 6.
Ish Polvorosa will now serve. Talked about him being one of the icons in the UAP alongside Mark Esteo. Unfortunately, service error from him. It's also one of the interesting matchups in this game. Owa Retamar going up against a senior in the UAAP. Unfortunately, hindi sila nag-abot, no?
Yeah, Retamar really has good decision-making. A lot of width also in terms of volleyball, but you're playing against also a multi-awarded setter who has a lot of experience. So it's interesting how their decision-making could actually lead their offense.
And these are the setters of our national team.
Exactly.
13-7, Ben San Andres will be serving. A product of Mapua University. Ball up high, wall breaking down. And Ken Malinis is off to a great start.
He's been using a lot of power with the attacks, not just in the front row, but he scored a couple errors already in the back row as well.
It's 8 serving 13. Now it is Nico Almendras, a former Rookie of the Year in the UAAP, now a veteran with NU.
Actually also part of the national team.
Right.
Has a few international experience with Retamar, so a lot is expected from them in this tournament.
Mendoza on the attack. Recovered by NU. Naibalik. The blocking is working for VNS One Alicia.
Again, we admire the patience of VNS in terms of defense. Good effort by both teams in defense, but the net defense of VNS in that sequence was just really on point.
Such a great thing because Ayel pointed out that because of that height disadvantage, it has to be the floor defense, you know, to be a lot better for VNS. But if your net defense is working as well, you'll take it. Unfortunately, in this play, it's Jen Gerardiao scoring for NU.
Just too fast for VNS to react.
Polvorosa onto Malabunga. There's the power from the veteran.
Again, Kim Malabunga. You know, his presence really will make the biggest difference for VNS in today's game. Like what we said earlier, you know, playing against NU Santa Elena with, you know, a height that is really tall. So, yung tangkad niya dyan sa harap ng net, kailangan talaga ng VNS in today's game.
Ball up high. That's sent by Cruz. Retamar goes to the open. Off-speed attack. Buhay pa rin. Off to the net. Sent back by Mukaba. Ito ngayon, Montemayor. Good blocking by NU Santa Elena.
Yeah, good blocking by both teams so far.
There you see Mikaelo Budin. Also tied as one of the top scorers in the league. Number 15, tabla sila ni Malines. 29 points coming into today's matchup. That's long for Ben San Andres. A little bit too aggressive on the play.
And he knew it. He apologized right away to their coach.
But we know what he can do. I mean, he has provided so many highlights already in the first 2 weeks of the Spikers turf. Later on, I actually have a topic for you, Ayel, regarding Ben San Andres. Mamaya na yan, as we celebrate Young Mendoza's hit first. They send us to our second technical timeout. A 5-point lead for VNS, 16-11.
Ginagawa nila, may depensa sila, okay. Pero kung maganda yung sistema ginagawa nyo, kahit naman may depensa sila, mabubutas nyo eh. Diba? Kayo lang mismo yung tinatanungin kung gusto ko lang dumaban. Ha? Mindset lang yan. Same lang naman ang gagalawin nyo, sistema lang ginagawa natin eh. Diba? Sipagan nyo lang. Pag binigyan kayo ng pagkakataon pumalo, sigurado yung papatayin nyo, hindi mo pwede nang baka madepensahan, baka ganito. Walang ano pa lang, kailangan, diba, atakihin ko na ng maayos. Ha? Ano na ikaw? Ha?
Go Budin, go.
Okay, go.
Let's go, Santa Elena.
16-11 our score. VNS up by 5 over NU Santa Elena. Take a look at that last play. It's Young Mendoza making his presence felt in today's match. Ayel, can you give us the biggest reason so far to you? That's why there's a 5-point advantage for VNS.
No, so far, VNS really doing well, both in net and floor defense. They've stayed patient because what we talked about earlier, in terms of offense, NU Santa Elena is really good. So with their defense, they're actually able to convert a point right away.
They look very much energized with the return of Kim Malabunga. Unfortunately, a service error. Itong mga service errors talaga, sometimes no, it changes the pace of the match.
Yeah, exactly. Service is very important because it can really change the momentum of the game.
Quick set. The attack from Malabunga. Recovery mula sa NU. Ball outside. That's a point for Santa Elena.
Is really maximizing the Kim Malabunga in the front row right now.
It's back-to-back points for NU off of that second technical timeout. Will this be the time? The momentum swing, as you just mentioned, in favor of Santa Elena. They go to the open. San Andres able to break that wall. And that brings me to that topic that I was mentioning earlier today. Ben San Andres, during the pandemic, he emerged as a YouTube star sa mga ligang labas, even just a couple of highlights here and there. Now, evolving as a TikTok star as well. But Ayel, he has been getting comparisons to one Louis Gamban, who seems to be very familiar to you as a former UP Fighting Maroon.
No, I think it's because they're both high leapers. They're spikers who are not that tall, but their elevation is so high. And it's the way they play, the way they react to their point, their energy. It's actually also gives that positive energy to their team. And sobrang malaking bagay yun, especially when your team is down, when you score a point. No, it's very important that you have that one player who has that kind of energy.
And remember, it only took Louis Gamban one game as well to become an overnight superstar on social media. Right now, it's 18-14. Ish Polvorosa serving off of the error mula kay Obed Mukaba. They go to the back row. Solid attack from Budin. And that's a point for NU.
Now, so far, VNS actually committing more forced errors on the net and the service line.
There was a net touch as well in this play. Back to our action. Montemayor. Cross court. It works for him.
But again, San Andres and Montemayor aren't the tallest of spikers, but they're really able to maximize their elevation and their power. Now, giving the defense of NU Santa Elena a difficult time to adjust.
You know, Ayel, itong si Kevin Montemayor, he was a bench player. Last Champions League para sa VNS, he was just able to perform very well in the playoffs. Now, look at him on a different level. Ito ngayon, a point as well mula sa NU. Ken Malines, it seems like he's the one who's consistent for them.
No, so far, Malines has been consistent in terms of offense and actually defense as well, but also it's the setting of Retamar that has been leading the offense of NU.
Montemayor finding the back line.
Again, when you also have a great setter in your team with Ish Polvorosa.
Pasok dito, Jan Mangulabnan. As you take a look at that back set, Ish Polvorosa all the way to the other side.
All the way to the other side.
Mangulabnan serving. Retamar. His turn to back set. Ganda ng off-speed doon ni Ken Malines.
Again, Malines. Great decision to drop it just behind of the blockers last minute.
What a recruit he is, no? For NU. Now serving, Gengerard Diao. Oh, that's too high. That's just too high para kay Kim Malabunga. Very ironic to say that.
But also he tried to still make something out of that set. But again, it was just too high for him to reach.
Lead cut down to 2. It was 5 entering the second technical timeout. Balik sila kay Montemayor. Kevin Montemayor. What a showing early in this match.
A really great setting by Ish Polvorosa so far. No, that really shows why his spikers only have one blocker in front of them. So much space for them to adjust. Ooh.
Oh, also a great setup on the other end. Quick attack mula kay Obed Mukaba. Every time you get Ayel Estañero to react that way, then that means you did a good thing.
It's actually a bit low set for him, but he was still able to adjust.
Retamar, his turn to do the 1-2. Now NU's feeling it. Lead cut down to 1.
And that's what a tall setter can actually do. Look at that elevation and speed. Ooh. A crucial error for Malines.
It's 20-22 now. Service errors natin. 4-2. VNS is getting the better half of that category. Jeremy Pedrosa will be serving now. 3 points away from getting their first set win today. Oh, service error, another one.
Again, in this part of the set, service is very crucial.
Does it get harder when you serve at the latter part of the set?
There's just more pressure,
More
I guess.
pressure.
So, you know, you really have to relax yourself first before you serve.
Polvorosa onto San Andres. Great elevation, but it's outside.
A great set, actually, an elevation by San Andres, but there's just so much angle in that attack.
22 all. Great comeback for NU Santa Elena, keeping their composure. Polvorosa back to San Andres. This time onto the other end of the court.
San Andres with a deep cross-court attack. Again, great setting by Ish Polvorosa. Just one blocker in front of San Andres in that sequence.
And you have to love the smile mula kay Ben San Andres. 23-22. Letamar, tough set. Able to send it to Nico Almendras, and we're tied at 23. Seems like we're up for a good one here, Ayel. Take a look at the replay.
Letamar was actually already out of position, but still able to set that perfectly to us.
It looked like a fadeaway set for Joshua Retamar. Here's San Andres. This time, naitawid ba? Yes, he's able to score.
And San Andres using the hands of his blockers to score a point.
24-23. Set point for VNS. They're off to a great start in this game after dropping their previous matchup against Signal HD. Polvorosa, costly serve right there.
Really costly serve.
You know, Ayana Perlas was teasing us that it's going to be a 10-setter for today. And it's already an extended first set in our first match. Retamar sends it over. Another service error.
Again, we've been mentioning how important service is, especially on the later part of the set. Oh, you can't just easily give your opponent that free point.
Now it will be Ben San Andres who will be tested at the service line. 25-24. Can VNS finally pull it off here in set number 1? Back set. Good blocking. One more chance. Onto the open. Off speed works. That's a beautiful attack from Ken Malinis.
Again, the decision making of Malinis so far this set has been really giving NU Santa Elena a lot of points in the last minute decision to just drop the ball.
He has been a story in set number 1. We're tied at 25. Montemayor. Solid attack once more.
But again, the lefty Montemayor really using a lot of power in his attacks.
There's that back set from Ish Polvorosa. Looks like that connection is looking good for VNS. Chemistry being developed already between Polvorosa and Montemayor. Retamar onto the open. Good recovery by Adviento. Regalo dito mula kay Yong Mendoza. Oh, battle at the net. Point belongs to NU Santa Elena.
Now we heard Malinis really asking for that set.
That was a tough battle at the net. You see the elevation from the players. 26 all. Ish will go to Mendoza. That does not go through. And now NU with their first set point. Timeout called by Coach Ralph Ocampo.
Huwag tayong Huwag tayo masyadong, okay lang yun. Huwag tayo masyadong gigil. Yung kailangan lang na tamang composure natin sa loob. Pag sumobra, di ba? Pag sumobra, mahirap. Maganda receive lang tayo, tapos na natake tayo. Execution tayo, please.
May pasta, di ba nasa palo?
Let's go, guys! VNS!
Well, you heard the veterans mula sa VNS 1 Alicia. Now that's one thing that they have going for them in the Spikers turf. A young core, and then you add veterans like Ish Polvorosa and Kim Malabunga.
And a great reminder for them also to just have a good execution because may first ball naman sila, maganda naman yung set ni Ish, you know. It's just the proper execution of the defense and the offense that they actually need right now.
And you trying to complete this comeback in the first set, 27-26. Back set, Montemayor again. Ball still alive. It's outside, tumama sa ating antena. Did it hit the antenna?
I think the line judge saw it passed through outside the antenna.
All right.
So it was called as an outside. But any Santa Elena was trying to argue.
27 all, nevertheless. Another tie onto the open. Solid hit from Micaela Budin. But it rules into the favor of VNS. Take a look at what happened.
Wouldn't actually hit the net going down from that attack.
That's why it's a violation against him.
Okay? Discard na sa gagawin. Pinapagulo ka lang ang receive. Kailangan iangat lang, ha? Nico, ha? Sige.
Elena.
Mamaya, ha? Diyan lang.
Another set point here for VNS 1 Alicia. Let's review that replay. Naitawid. Up. Tumawid talaga siya buong buo.
Wouldn't actually crossed the line and hit the net going down.
Sure point for VNS. And they finally close this one out. This time on the opposite. Sent back, but it's outside. So we're tied at 28.
Again, Malines on fire in this first set. Scoring a lot of points for NU Santa Elena.
28 all. Today we featured the top 4 teams currently in the Spikers Turf Open Conference. We're off to a great start. Buhay pa rin ang bola. At the middle, sent back. Owa. They go to Mukaba, but Kim Malabunga is there to reject it.
Kim Malabunga really ready for that attack. He read that well. He was well established. Actually, solid block by Malabunga.
That's also a great matchup, a field for an athlete. Or make that a field student athlete, no? Point now, belonging to NU Santa Elena. That's a solid hit from Micaela Budin.
Great attack by Budin actually in that sequence, targeting the end line of the court of VNS.
Budin will be serving 29 all. Polvorosa onto San Andres. Blocked by NU. This is their second set point in this match. Timeout muli. As he take a look at that replay, bawi naman sa kabila ang Santa Elena.
And the blockers really read that well. No coverage on the side of VNS.
Kapit tayo! Hey, VNS!
Sige, walang bitaw ha. Kapitan natin.
30-29, set point belonging to NU Santa Elena.
No, that timeout seemed to be just a breather for them. No to restart.
On the other end, Coach Dante Alinsunurin giving out instructions to his collegiate team. Young squad that will be back in the UAAP in season 85. 30 serving 29.
Service and first ball at this point is very crucial.
Mikaela Budin. Attack at the middle. Kim Malabunga. Such power right there.
And so far, they really show great connection. Ish Polvorosa and Malabunga. Look at that spike, the elevation and the power.
Tied at 30. At the net, there's the elevation and the power as well from Nico Almendras.
No one's giving up.
No one is giving up. 31 serving 30 in set number 1.
Just an exchange of powerful attacks so far by both teams.
I think you need to cancel your dinner plans. 31 to 30. Oh, service error. Back to another tie.
Very crucial.
31 all. Ish Polvorosa will do the honors.
And New Santa Elena with 2 spikers in the front line and VNS with complete front row in this sequence. But
middle attack. Diao will score.
a timely point for Diao. Much needed point by NU.
Good for him to come alive at this point of the set. We are in the 30s. 32 serving 31. At the middle, Adviento, Nabasa. Almendras. Ronnie. Tamar puts it up. Melines rejected at the net, and that's a point for NU Santa Elena. 33-31 will be the score to conclude set number 1. VNS is arguing something here.
Ish really asking for a net violation.
But they won't get it. Point belongs to NU. And that's just the beginning, folks. 33-31 after 1.
My name is Clarence Bilostrino from NU Santa Elena, setter, 20 years old. Volleyball is buhay. Maraming opportunity na dumadating at maraming mga athlete na nabibigyan ng scholarship dahil sa volleyball. Sobrang saya dahil isa to sa mga pinakamataas na liga ng men's volleyball dito sa Pilipinas. Sa mga fans ng NU Santa Elena, abangan nyo parati yung mga laban ng NU Santa Elena at lagi nyo suportahan.
Back here in the Paco Arena in Manila, we just concluded set number 1 between NU Santa Elena and VNS 1 Alicia. The score was 33-31. And this day hasn't disappointed us so far. Again, we are featuring your top 4 teams currently in the Spikers Turf Open Conference for your Tuesday doubleheader.
No, a lot of great sparks by both teams actually in that set. A lot of powerful attacks. But let's highlight the decision-making of Malines for NU Santa Elena in terms of offense, but also the connection of Ish Polvorosa and Kim Malabunga. But again, that set was anybody's set. It was just a matter of consistency and powerful attacks and proper execution.
VNS was actually up for most of that set until it was back and forth. In the extension, you mentioned the good decision-making of Ken Malines. 9 points so far from him as the top scorer for NU. On the other end, VNS, they're led by Kevin Montemayor, who started very well, and then Kim Malabunga, that guy came alive during the extension.
And again, let's also highlight the great blocking of both teams and the great decision-making and setting of both setters, Retamar and Ish Polvorosa.
Again, a great matchup for today. 33-31 the scoring. How about the other departments?
No, in other departments, we can see that NU really dominated in terms of attack and blocking. Actually, not really dominated. VNS is actually close, but again, it was a matter of consistency and proper execution, and that's the reason why NU Santa Elena Nationals won in the first set.
You see the disparity, only a +1, +2, +3.
Even in the opponent errors.
Right. That's why it was a close game. Just to recap, these two teams currently in the upper part of the standings. NU Santa Elena is number 2. 3 wins, 0 losses. They're actually tied with Signal HD, undefeated. And then VNS 1 Alicia, 2-1 ang kanilang standing, tied with PGJC Navy. First point belongs to NU in the second set. And yeah, let's talk about the setters.
So far at Retamar with 9 excellent sets and Ish Polvorosa with 7 excellent sets. You know, sometimes statistics couldn't really show how good the setter is, and when you watch it from start to finish, you know how Retamar and Ish Polvorosa is actually doing well right now in terms of decision making.
Great for you to notice them. There's a lot of people take for granted these setters in the country. NU off of back-to-back points, they give up a service error. That's by Nico Almendras.
No, it's going to be important for VNS to start strong again in this set, because that was a solid comeback by NU Santa Elena in the first set.
Ben San Andres, his turn to send it over. Grabe yung dive doon ni Nico Almendras to try to avoid that volleyball.
No, great decision for him to actually avoid that ball. It was already going out.
Siguro naman, sana worth it yung dive na yun. 3-1. Polvorosa on the back set. Malapit sa net. At the middle, Mukaba sends it outside. That's point number 2 for VNS in this set.
No, that set was a little bit low for Mukaba. No, we talked about this earlier that the addition of Mukaba is a great addition and very important for the NU Santa Elena. But he just started to be with the team, so nabibuild pa lang yung chemistry and connection, and it actually shows in the game today.
Right on cue as he scores for NU Santa Elena. Now, you're one who is experiencing that as well with the Signal HD spikers nowadays. Magkakaroon tayo ng reinforced conference in the PBL as Kevin Montemayor scores down the line. Could you walk us through the adjustments of a team as you welcome in a foreign athlete?
We usually look for a foreign athlete who's really good in terms of almost all departments. So, usually expected na malakas to. But, a lot of preparation is really done in terms of trying to build the connection, trying to build the chemistry. So, hindi yun automatic na when you have a really good import or foreign player, mananalo na agad kayo, no? So, ang dami pang kailangan ipaghandaan.
So you did mention a transition period right now for Obed Mukaba para sa NU Santa Elena. Budin scores though for their squad. Now, itong si Obed Mukaba, just to get back to him once more, as you take a look at that replay, he was the one who set that ball up for Miguel Budin. Mukaba has been with the team for a year now because he had to service residency with National University. That's why he will be able to play in UAAP Season 85. But this will be, or these are his first set of games na talagang naglalaro against an official team in the Philippines.
Now, a lot of there's going to be a learning experience for him also, not just for him, but for the connection also of Retemar and him, and the team chemistry as they prepare for their future tournaments.
Malinis, another solid hit. He is 11 out of 15 in terms of efficiency in his attacks.
71%.
Over 71% now. Obviously, that's a high percentage, and he made so many great plays in set number 1 to pull off that comeback. Kim Malabunga on the slide, and he will score.
But again, Ishpol Verosa really maximizing Kim Malabunga when he's in the front row.
Does he look like he's still bothered by that ankle?
It doesn't look like it.
Hindi, diba? Unfortunately, as we say that, he gives up a service error. 7-5 in favor of NU Santa Elena in set number 2. If you just tuned in, the first set score was 33-31. So it looks like a game that will go down the wire between these two squads. Great attack at the middle. Binalik agad ng NU Santa Elena, and they will win their first technical timeout of the match. 8-5 our score.
Isa na naman tayo, wala naman natin problema ang gagawin eh. Joshua, diskarte sa ginagawa. Diba? Lalo yung mga kanina, mga habol-habol kanina. Yung magandang habol kanina, yung mga alam mo kung sino yung mga kailangan pumalo ng plano yung mga wicket. Ha? Sige, tuloy lang.
Go. Hey, layo pa tayo, ha? Right. Layo pa sa score.
Back here in the Paco Arena in Manila for your 2022 Spikers Turf Open Conference. NU off to a great start in set number 2. They have a 3-point lead as we turn you over to Ayana Perlas. Ayana, go ahead.
First, I would like to correct myself. I meant to say 3-peat championship for NU in the UAAP and not triple back-to-back. Masyado akong na-excite sa game nito. Kaya, but kidding aside, let's talk about the NU Nationals this time. Okay, so as we all know, NU's lineup is a deep one, and head coach Dante Alinsunurin says that the reason for this is because he gives everyone a chance on the court, and he never just relies on his first 6, which he believes will do him justice in today's game against a strong VNS squad. Now, before today, funny story, the NU Nationals are actually practicing something new with their service, pero sabi nila, secret daw muna yon. So let's see if this will help them in today's game. Back to you guys.
Grabe naman yung pabiti ni Ayana doon.
May secret pa.
But you know what? Since I have Ayel Estranero here on my side, ikaw ba may secret ka ba? O yung mga kupunan mo in terms of service practices?
In terms of service practices, in terms of skills, I don't think so. There's a secret because you just can't change the way you serve in one practice. But who you target in the game, where you target, what zone you target, there's a lot of preparation done around it.
You know, Mela Tunay before shared to us an anecdote wherein they used to practice with a string above the antenna.
Oh, okay.
Para diretso, flat. Tama ba yun? Flat yung serve.
Yeah.
Matulis. Ayun. So, I heard about that. And then, back in our UAP courtside days, I saw a practice wherein there are targets on the other end.
Yeah, again, a lot of preparation in terms of service, what zones, gaano kataas yung serve mo, gaano kabilis. A lot of technicalities. Not just in service, but in most of the skills.
Right. Ben San Andres, not much elevation on that play. It's set back easily by NU Santa Elena, who are off to a great start. Much better start here in set number 2.
No, they've been consistent so far with their service and their offense, two departments that they're really doing well so far in this tournament.
And as you say that, the service error para sa NU Santa Elena. Lead is still 2 points. Remember, they were trailing for most of set number 1.
They're actually #1 in serving right now as a team in the tournament.
#1 in serving and blocking, to your point. But they do have 9 service errors so far. A solid attack once more for Ken Malinis. Now he's up to 12 out of 16 in terms of his efficiency.
Malinis really looked prepared in today's game.
Malinis din yung kanyang palo sa bola. Montemayor, babawi naman sa kabila. Montemayor had 13 points in their previous match. And he, again, is starting for Coach Ralph Ocampo. We mentioned his story. Came off the bench in the Champions League, emerged in their last 2 games. It was like a Cinderella story, as we can say, and it has paid off for him as Micaelo Budin scores here. Lead is back to 3 points.
And you're really maximizing their height and elevation, in the setting of Retamar as well. No, medyo delayed na yung mga blockers.
This time on the back set, Montemayor. Now he has been that consistent scorer for VNS. Let me correct myself. Ken Malinis, his efficiency is 12 out of 18 now, 67%. Montemayor, 10 out of 18. That's around 55%.
No, Montemayor is actually 5th in spiking overall.
Polvorosa tried to score. Na ibalik, Pedrosa rejected by Obed Mukaba. Now that's your top blocker in the Spikers turf.
Pedrosa trying to attack, but Mukaba was really there.
No can do for you, sir. He had 17 points off of blocks entering this match. He actually had 1 game where he had 10 blocks only for himself. And Ayana Perlas actually tell us that mas lalo pa siya nagsisipag in terms of his blocking practice after getting those 10 blocks. It's 14 to 10 a timeout here.
Kung malaki yung blocker, pwede naman tayo mag-restart eh. Taas nyo ulit yung first ball. Tapos kung, alam mo yun, restart tayo sa play.
Recycle.
Hindi nyo kailangan na madaliin. Pag pumaas, kailangan hampasin yun. Laki ng blocker. Height advantage na agad yun eh. Okay? Dagat iisipin kailangan. Kung a-atake tayo as much as possible, konti lang yung blocker nila. Kasi pag 2 or 3 blockers, mahirapan tayong umatake, ha? Receive lang tayo ng maganda ulit. Tapos ha? Kuha tayo. Let's go.
Let's go! VNS!
Some patience being asked by Coach Ralph Ocampo.
No, they actually recognize that the NU Santa Elena has tall blockers, and it's going to be hard if you have 2 blockers in front of you. Even just 1 with Mukaba in that sequence. So a lot of patience is needed and execution in terms of first ball and setting.
There's Obed Mukaba. First appearance on national television here in the Philippines. That's an early Christmas gift for NU Santa Elena. Nico Almendra scoring.
Again, first ball is going to be crucial. So far, the service of NU Santa Elena challenging the first ball of VNS.
15 to 10, the biggest lead in this match so far for NU. 7 points on 5 attacks for Micaelo Budin. And a service error from him. That has been a problem, ironically, for NU in this game. There's Jeremy Pedrosa. Did not see action in their previous outing. Rotamar sends it over to the other end. And when he was fading onto the sideline, he looked very comfortable, and he just calmly said to his teammate, "Palo."
So much confidence in his
win it with a score of 33-31. Balik tayo kay Obed Mukaba. Service errors, again, it has been a problem for NU so far in this match. Mukaba sending it over. Polvorosa going back to Malabunga, something that we saw by the end of the first set that was really working for them.
And again, it's the first ball of the VNS that's going to be very important for them because they're able to execute better and set up better when they have a good first ball.
Lead cut down to 4. Retamar onto Almendras, that's short.
No, Almendras trying to go for a quick dip, but he was too far from the net to do that.
Malabunga giving us a smile. Again, he's playing against his juniors from National University. Service error from him.
No, but he's been struggling on the service line so far in this game.
But we are glad to have him back here after that right ankle injury. Could have been a big piece for them in their last game versus Signal HD. Itong si Kim Malabunga. Now, it's a service ace for Joshua Retamar.
Again, the service of NU Santa Elena really challenging the first ball of VNS.
18 serving 13 now, lead back up to 5. Retamar sending it over. This time it's long.
Service talaga is high risk, high rewards, no? So you get one ace, and then you get one error.
Quits lang. Bila naman, it's Ish Polvorosa. Are we seeing a slower pace here in the second set? Not necessarily.
We're seeing less rallies.
Less rallies.
Compared to the first set.
Yeah, the first set was different. It was really exciting towards the end of it, for sure. 19-14. Polvorosa onto Montemayor. Is that a check? It's outside. The players from behind. Kasi nag-aabang na yung mga manlalaro for the second game. Nakiki-referee yung mga players natin.
And Retamar is trying to argue that there's no check. Oh, but the referee stays firm with his decision.
Diretso lang yung facial expression niya. Absolutely no change. Could not be convinced by Joshua Retamar. But they still have a 4-point lead here. 15 serving 19. Ben San Andres doing the honors. That's long.
Oh, we've been seeing VNS committing a couple of errors in the service line. A few communication and defense. Now the reason why they can't build the momentum.
Polvorosa this time to Merat. First appearance in this ball game by Jeremy Merat. And good read once more mula kay Ken Malinis.
Oh, Malinis was just really good with the last minute adjustments and decision making.
Since set number 1, he has been a story for NU in this game. Then another service error. Very different from what we saw in set number 1.
Oh, definitely a slower pace in the set for both teams.
16, serving 21, Ronnie Adviento. That's another service error.
A lot of service errors. Okay, it's hard to build a rally because a rally starts with a serve. So that's why we noticed na there's not much rallies so far in this set.
Malabunga. Quick attack. Strong one, trimming the lead down to 5.
But again, Malabunga really consistent in terms of offense.
There's that connection. Polvorosa to Malabunga. Beautiful to see. Strong serve mula kay Montemayor. Back row attack. It reaches the corner. Ken Malinis with another point.
Again, Malinis just really knowing which zones to target. Great cross-court attack.
Is there anything standing out specifically for you, Ken Malinis, in his style of play?
I think it's really the power of his attack. I know his decision-making. The way he adjusts mid-air to drop that ball just behind the blockers. The angles of his attack as well.
Take a look at the recent play. There's the attack. Jeremy Merat could not send it over. It's 24-17, 7 set points for NU Santa Elena. Miguel Budin will do the honors. A timeout here by Coach Ralph Ocampo.
Timeout, VNS.
Pakinggan natin.
Kailangan natin kamay, no? Nangyari kasi bumaba tayo masyado eh. Diba? Maraming miscommunication, mga error natin. Kailangan na natin siyagain mag-block. Kasi puro single block yung mga opener, mga sinto natin. Or, alam mo yun, magbasa tayo. Kung na-single block, kailangan magdagdag tayo ng depensa. Mahirap kasi dumepensa pag malakas yung bola. Diba? Tiyaga lang tayo. Tayo na lang kunin yung sarili niya. Bawi tayo next set, ha?
Wala tayong momentum para next set. Hanapin natin.
VNS!
Sometimes ba, umaabot na sa point na yung mindset mo wala na dun sa habol tayo sa set na to. Move on, try to build momentum for the next one.
No, it could happen. It could happen. But again, talking about momentum, it's very important that they build momentum. VNS right now, towards the end of the set, like what their coach said, na para madala nila in the next set.
They give up the last point. And that concludes our second set here in Paco, Manila. Paco Arena in Manila, 25-17. Very different from the story in set number 1, where it was 33-31. We'll be back for set number 3. It's
So far, I think we're doing good, pero I think may ilalabas pa at ibubuka pa yung team namin. Sa mga darating na games namin, lalabas pa yung mga tunay na laro namin.
Polvorosa set that up. Montemayor tried to get that through, but then the blocking, unable to keep it in.
Yung familiarity rin when it comes to playing inside the court. Kasi medyo mas matagal na rin kami magkasama. Sila kasi mas nakikita namin maglaro. So alam namin kung paano sila paghandaan siguro. I think that would be our advantage.
Miguel on the attack again off the blockers, but VNS keeps it alive because it's San Andres.
Going down the line.
back here in the Paco Arena in Manila for set number 3 between VNS and Santa Elena. The set number 2 of this match was very different from set number 1 in terms of duration. It was 16 minutes shorter. see that 33-31, 25-17. A lot of service errors as well. We mentioned the lack of rallies. But we get to see some highlights from set number 2 now.
No, in set number 2, NU was pretty more consistent in terms of service compared to VNS. Their service really challenged the first ball of VNS, giving them a more difficult time to set up. And also one thing lacking from VNS is their blocking, actually, as well as their attempts in the floor defense, but it could also be because of the better and faster offense of the NU Santa Elena.
That's right, 0 blocks for VNS in set number 2, 0 aces as well. 10 errors. It's very costly for their squad. There were some moments where Kim Malabunga was connecting once more alongside Ish Polvorosa. Just not enough as Nico Almendras and Ken Malinis. Moreover, they've been finding those holes, especially at the back row. Ayan ang ating statistics.
And we can see really in terms of statistics that NU Santa Elena dominated in all the departments. They have 12 in attacks compared to just 9 of VNS. They have 1 block, 0 for VNS, 2 service aces for them, and 0 for VNS. And VNS also committed more errors in that set.
Let's see if VNS will be able to recover here in set number 3. Mix Gomez at your service alongside Ayala Estranjero and Ayana Perlas for your Spikers Turf 2022 Open Conference. Ball up high. Naitawid sa kabila. And then it's Ben San Andres making NU pay. Not really the usual game from Ben San Andres in terms of explosiveness. Yung production niya, because this is a high volume score in the past couple of matches.
No, but also the offense of VNS is really challenged by the tall blocking of NU.
Retamar, back set. Mendoza, send it over to Montemayor. He's able to break the wall. Early 2 points here for VNS, looking like who they were in set number 1.
No, VNS needs more of that, more aggressive attacks for them to score more points and produce their own points, and not just rely on the errors of NU Santa Elena.
2-0, but there's a 2-set lead for NU. Service error. And that was the story in set number 2. You have to be careful.
And again, service is very important because it's where you start to build your momentum.
Almendras. Polvorosa sends it over to Mendoza. Young Mendoza at the start of this conference, he was one of those go-to scorers for VNS. Had 10 points in the first game, 12 in the second one, but only had 2 points in their previous outing against Signal HD.
No, and again, VNS has a lot of good spikers, but they will not be able to maximize it with a faulty first ball.
Montemayor sent back. Always very dangerous for NU at the net defense.
No, when they're able to establish themselves, in blocking, it's really challenging for the attacker to get past through that really tall blocks.
You mentioned the type of attackers in terms of build that DNS has. Maliliit pero athletic. The other end, sa NU, athletic na, matangkad pa. They get another block, and we just have to remind everyone, the average height of these NU Santa Elena Nationals, it's 6 feet 3 inches. Ayel.
No comment. And it really shows actually in the way they play, the way they block, the way they attack. Oh, they're just always on top of the blockers.
This is the tallest NU squad.
And when you're playing against a team like that, you have to make sure, VNS has to make sure that they have coverage.
Mendoza, that's too low. Back-to-back points here for Santa Elena. It's 4-3. Now they have the advantage.
So far, it's the blocking of NU that it's working well for them.
They had 1 block only in set number 2. Certainly a much better performance here in set number 3. Mendoza, ball deflected. Tayangat. Almendras gives it over to the open. Montemayor. This might be the longest rally so far in the last 2 sets. Oh, that was low for Kevin.
Now VNS really starting to doubt their decision making because of the good blocking of NU Santa Elena.
Service error now coming in. Wala kay Diao. It's 4 serving 5. VNS looking for light here in set number 3. They still haven't won a set in their past 2 games. They included yung sa Signal HD Spikers. But it was a promising one where they were able to score 20 points in each set. Now a strong attack mula kay Micaela Budin.
So far, Budin producing for NU, not just in attacks, but also in his blocking so far this set.
Budin, 8 points, 13 points, and 8 points respectively in the first 3 matches. Retamar. There's a hole at the back line. That's an easy hit for Micaela Budin.
Again, Retamar just really enjoying his time. Given that he has a lot of attackers he could go to earlier, it was Malines. Now it's Budin is actually producing points for NU.
He's up to 11 points, 7 attacks and 3 blocks. As he also mentioned, he's playing very well on the net defense. Ball outside, off of the blockers of VNS. Momentum belonging to NU Santa Elena. We reach our first technical timeout of set number 3. It is 8-4. Make that VNS. Let's talk about VNS with Ayana Perlas. Ayana, go ahead.
Let's talk about the VNS 1 Alicia Griffins. Now, in their last game against Signal, Coach Ralph Ocampo actually told me that he absolutely loved their blocking and defense in that game. But it seems that they weren't able to carry that on in today's game. Now, head coach Ralph expressed his frustration in the huddle on this. And since he was able to see the team's capabilities in the last game, he noticed that today medyo kulang yung connection ng team. And sabi niya sa kanila, dictate the game. Huwag kayong makapag-dictate sa kanila. Back to you guys.
Strong words mula kay Coach Ralph Ocampo. They're going to need to do it now, AL. They're down by 3 points in the 3rd set.
Yeah, and again, he talked about the net and floor defense, and we also said that earlier, when you play against a team, especially with NU, with that kind of attacks, know what they're capable of, a lot of powerful attacks. No, net defense and floor defense is going to be integral.
Micaela Budin has been spectacular, especially in the past couple of plays for them. 12 points, 8 attacks, 3 blocks, 1 ace so far. Second time that he has scored in double figures in this conference, and he scores another one.
You know, the confidence given to him, the confidence and trust given to him by Retamar in terms of attacks really translates in his service right now.
Micaela Budin, one of those champions from the NU Juniors program. Let's go back to Retamar now that he has a Micaela Budin in his lineup alongside guys like Nico Almendras. They even have Obed Mukaba, itong si Ken Malines. Ano naman yung challenges for a setter who has this caliber of his teammates here in NU?
I guess the challenge, you know, when I say challenge, siguro, no, it's a good problem for him. Because given he has really good attackers, it's more of how he builds that connection with them, how he's able to maximize their talent, their skills. Paano ba niya malalabas yung powerful attacks nila, yung kind of decision making that they have. So, that's the job of the setter, to actually also build the confidence of their attackers.
And Jesse Lopez, who is one of the most known setters in Philippine volleyball, he had a lot of good words about Owen at Tamar. Pero ngayon, pakinggan muna natin ang VNS.
Pag gumit na, parehas kayo iiwas eh. Ayaw nyo kumuha ng pasa eh. Mahirapan tayo niyan eh. Kailan ko pa sinabi, pasa. Ngayon, pasa. Ilang set ko na sinasabing pumasa. Iwas kayo ng iwas pumasa. Eh kung ayaw nyo pumasa, ba't pa kayo nagpi-play? Guys, all out na sa receive. Kung tayo sa atin.
Sige, ako nakuha. Sige, VNS! Go, guys.
Take a look at the replay. Obed Mukaba finding the back line and giving us a smile for NU Santa Elena. We were talking about their assistant coach, Jesse Lopez, having great words for their squad. Of course, they're very proud to field this very tall team, the tallest that NU has had the past couple of years. 6'3" ang kanilang average height. At the same time, he shares that, of course, there are high expectations, especially for Nico Almendras and Owen Tamar, who have already seen so much international competition.
No, a lot of pressure on them actually, but it seems like they're able to handle it well so far in this entire tournament because they have really stepped up big for NU.
And of course, all eyes will be on this NU squad as they face the Signal HD Spikers by the end of our preliminaries. Stay tuned for that. Signal HD will be in action later on against Navy. That's also a good matchup to watch out for, as they are two of our top 4 teams currently in the league. It is 7 serving 13. Tamar, they go to the open. Sent back, but straight to the net. Point belongs to Nico Almendras.
Oh, so far, really, NU just have the momentum on their side, and in terms of consistency, they've been really doing well. But VNS needs to step up actually if they want to get this set.
Is there an effect after that first set loss of VNS in this match? It was 31-33. Remember, they had the lead at the beginning of this game. You think there was a psychological effect on it?
There could be, especially that it ended with a score that they thought was an error. They were trying to argue that there was a net violation, but it wasn't given to them. So we always say that during games, during training as athletes, it's very important that you just don't build your skills, your physical skills, but mental skills as well. Because, at the end of the day, in the crucial points, yun na yung nagmamatter. Kasi lahat naman kayo skilled na talaga. So how mentally tough are you to be able to surpass the challenges that you'll have to face?
Certainly great lessons to be learned in this match para sa VNS. It's not yet over. They're down by 6, of course. 15-9 in set number 3. We've seen miracles happen in all of sports. And certainly, if another one will happen today, we'll take it, even though Ayel Estraniero will have to cancel her dinner plans. Oh, at Tamar, they go to the middle. That looked like an easy hit para kay Jen Gerard Diao, and he will send us to our second technical timeout, 16-9.
VNS 2-1 also. So today's games are very crucial in terms of their ranking, no, in the top 4.
And remember, the top 4 will advance to our semifinals kung saan magkakaroon sila ng round robin again to determine who will proceed to the finals and the battle for third. Of course, a lot of people will be expecting or will be excited for that match between NU and Signal. We're already at the halfway mark of our open conference. And is it your first time here on TV once again for Spikers Turf?
Yes.
It is. So I want to get your thoughts about the return of Spikers Turf.
No, I'm just really happy for the men's volleyball to be back again on the scene, because for sure they haven't stopped preparing also, just like the women's volleyball. But, you know, it took a while for them to have a tournament. So now that they're back, you know, it's interesting, you know, how players have improved. We've seen new talents, we've seen new skills. No, it's interesting how they will continue to improve in the next tournaments.
More to come for Philippine sports. 16-9, Malabunga up top, recovered by Retamar. Battle at the net. Good effort by NU. Hindi na itawid. Another chance onto the open. Oh, great hit. Mikael Budin, he has been the story of the second half of this match.
No, he is the story of, again, the second half. And this set, actually, he's been producing a lot of points for NU in this set.
In the beginning, it was Ken Malinis who was on pace to get the Best Player of the Game award. But Mikael Budin looked at Ayel Estranero and had something to say about it.
And again, this is what we love about men's volleyball. You know, the intensity of every rally, of every point.
Which we saw a lot of them in the first set. Can VNS still come alive here? They're 7 points down in set number 3. Papasok si Jan Mangulabnan at si Jeremy Pedrosa. The referee will wave off Pedrosa. Polvorosa will stay in the match. Jan Mangulabnan will serve. Sending it over. Retamar. Back set. Sent back. Pinalik. This time, it's Ken Malinis who just had to shout a little bit louder to get it through.
Using all his power in that attack.
Again, Ken Malinis, especially in the first set, he was that go-to scorer, scoring 9 points for NU to start this match. Pasok dito, Clarence Velostrino. And they also have Michael Fortuna. You get to see the replay, the point of Ken Malinis.
Michael Fortuna, who actually scored 10 points in their previous game.
Right? That's how deep they are. May ganun pa silang hugot. Ball rejected. Kept alive by Mangulabnan. And that could not send it over. Biggest lead of the match, 19-10.
Mayrat is actually a bit off-timed in his approach.
Tatawid ngayon ni Clarence Velostrino. Mangulabnan to the back. That's by Ben San Andres. That's someone who VNS really missed in this game. In the previous outings of VNS, San Andres scored 9 points versus Signal, 24 against Santa Rosa, and then 20 versus Ateneo. Remember, their first 2 matches were 5-setters here in the Spikers Turf.
And again, it's the blocking of Santa Elena that is challenging the attacks of VNS. But in that sequence, Kim Malabunga was just really ready for that attack from Mukaba.
It has happened from time to time in this match, no? The single coverage of Kim Malabunga, successful. And now the attack goes outside for Budin. VNS feeling a little bit of energy here. 3 straight points para sa kanila.
It might be the change of momentum that they need right now.
13 serving 19. Oh, that's an easy one for Malabunga. 4 straight points for VNS. And because of that, Coach Tatev will be calling for time.
Bilbil ako sa'yo. Kapag ang quicker, pag quicker yung kita mo naman nasa series, huwag kang magbibigay ng 8 dito. Kasi dito, magugulangan mo siya ng isang beses lang, pero pakalawang bumablock na yan. Ngayon ito, may big pick tayo, may 8 pa tayo. Eh ngayon, hindi niya area to. Okay?
Yes, coach.
Sige ha, sige, receive lang. Receive lang ha.
Tara, tapos. Try na.
Receive lang tayo ha, receive lang.
Si Malabunga.
19-14. 4 straight points para sa VNS. A little bit of sense of urgency from NU Santa Elena, but they are 6 points away from a victory today.
And just a short reminder for them to have better first ball and decision making in terms of attack.
Young Mendoza will be serving. Pelestrino. They go to the open. Was there a check? There was. Strong hit from Michael Fortuna, who you mentioned was in double figures in their previous outing.
That's how deep their lineup is.
Yes. He came in the second set, finished that match, including the third. And he was the second top scorer behind Nico Almendras. Now another block, courtesy of Obed Mukaba.
Triple block for San Andres in the sequence.
He will challenge them, that's for sure.
Really no room for him to get past through that attack.
It's 21, serving 14. 4 points away para kina Micaelo Budin to try to win this match. 15 points. 3 blocks and 2 aces. Service error, as we say that. Serving 21 now. Pelestrino onto the open. By the way, that's a key addition for NU. Just checked in. See Leo Aringo, who they recruited from Davao. Attack from Fortuna, kept alive by VNS. That was wide. Point belongs to NU.
And you were really trying to close this match, but again, it was a free point from VNS.
Did you learn anything today from any of these two squads?
Again, it's service and first ball. Both are very important, especially in the crucial parts of the game.
Wow, Mukaba. He's groaning on that serve. They're unable to score. It belongs to VNS.
A much needed point for VNS.
Pasok dito, sina Kevin Montemayor and Paul Borosa. Take a look at that play. Locating Ronnie Adviento. Also very swaggy on the court.
And great elevation also.
And sina Ronnie Adviento and Ben San Andres very close on and off the court. Polvorosa onto San Andres. That's outside, off of the blockers. VNS will trim the lead down to 5.
Now, so far, VNS having great sparks in this set. Now, much needed, especially in this part of the game.
Polvorosa now with 11 excellent sets on the serve. Here's Fortuna. Great approach. That's a point for them.
But again, the lineup of NU Santa Elena, anyone put in is just really able to contribute. Great back set there. Almost no blockers for Fortuna.
Making it look easy. 23-17. They're 2 points away from a victory today. Tatawag na timeout si Coach Ralph.
Kaya lang, pero mahirap. Tsatsagain lang natin. Go tayo, kaya natin yan. Simulan sa receive. Sipag lang. Sipag lang. Tara. Sige.
Hey, let's go, let's go!
Tara, next.
VNS, their opponent is 2 points away from getting a victory today in the Paco Arena in Manila. 23-17 our score now. Again, later on, the Signal HG Spikers will go up against the PGJC Navy Sea Lions in our second game. The last two teams to wrap up our top 4 in the standings currently in our open conference right now. NU looking to stay undefeated. They're just 2 points away from doing that. VNS, once this is over, they're going to go down to 2 wins and 2 losses. NU, 4 wins and 0 losses. Unless a miracle happens at the very last second here in the third set. But with services like that, it's not going to look good. Match point now. 7 match points for Joshua Retamar and NU Santa Elena.
No, it looked like Retamar really used all his power, and that serve is too fast and too strong for the libero of VNS to contain.
Straight to the libero.
Straight to the libero.
Another strong serve. Ball up by Young Mendoza. Montemayor, wow, able to surpass the blockers.
No, but Montemayor is not yet done rallying his team.
I don't know if you've noticed it, but every time Montemayor scores, he looks at you. But I'm not sure if he's trying to make a statement. 24-18. 6 match points still para sa NU Santa Elena. There's a back set. And Leo Ringo will score the last point of this match. Again, it was close, especially in the first set. VNS taking over in the first half of it. A comeback from NU Santa Elena, extending it until they won with a score of 33-31. But after that, they never looked back.
No, they never looked back. No, the momentum they've built towards the end of the first set, they have translated in their second set and third set, really giving them a really good game.
We mentioned the slower pace in set number 2. It was 16 minutes shorter than set number 1. A lot of service errors. There were some good signs from VNS in set number
And you're watching the Spikers Turf Open Conference 2022. That was the NU Nationals versus the VNS Griffins, with NU coming out victorious in just 3 sets. Joining me is the best player of the game. We have Micaela Budin with 15 points, 10 attacks, 3 blocks, and 2 aces. Hello! How are you, Budin?
Okay lang po.
Diba?
Medyo na-overwhelm pa rin po.
Oh, overwhelmed pa rin.
Opo.
Bakit?
Kasi unexpected na mati-reset po namin, lalo na nung first set dumikit. Eh, medyo na-pressure ako nun kasi syempre bago ulit nakapaglaro ng first 6 ulit na naman. So yun, yung after the second set and third set, na-overcome ko yung pressure po.
Yes, definitely. So sinabi mo na na-pressure ka in that game, in this game against VNS. Pero syempre, ang galing mo in today's game. Congratulations.
Thank you po.
Pero gusto ko malaman, actually, stinok kita eh. And nakita ko na dream school mo yung NU.
Opo, dream
And
school
alam
po.
ko naman na parang 2 years ka na nasa NU college.
Opo.
So I wanna know, naging motivation ba to sa'yo in every game na parang, ay shucks, ito yung dream school ko?
Before ako pumasok ng school po, syempre andun si Idol Brian Bagunas and gusto ko maging katulad niya. Nung nakasama ko siya sa ASEAN, may mga advices sa akin. So yun, ina-apply ko lang and ginagawa ko siya inside the court and outside the court po, yung mga in-advise na po sa akin.
Yes, definitely you used this advice in
Opo.
today's game. Now, for today, meron ka bang pinalitan in the way you play? Kasi medyo naging breakout game mo to dito sa Spikers Turf. So I wanna know, ano yung mga naging bago in the way you play in today's game?
Bawat laro po namin, may mga adjustment po kaming ginagawa sa kalaban. So, ayun, in-apply ko lang kung ano yung tinuro sa akin ni Coach and ano yung sinasabi sa akin ng mga coaches ko sa labas. And yun, in-apply ko siya inside the court and sa loob ng court po, sa laro namin.
And definitely, this did Micaela Budin justice in today's game. Okay, Micaela, meron ka bang gustong i-greet? Friends, family?
Pinabati ko yung mga yung mga magulang ko sa Palawan, sa Puerto Princesa, Maina, and sa mga naging coaches ko doon and mga naging teammates ko. Kamusta kayo dyan? And sa jowa ko na nanonood dyan po.
Yes! Salamat sa jowa. Napaka-supportive.
Opo.
Okay. Thank you so much, Micaela Budin. Once again, this is our
Thank
best
you po.
player of the game from NU Nationals. Back to the panel.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ayana. Micaela Budin. He did not start in the first 2 games of NU in this season. He started in the 3rd one, had 29 points coming into this match today. But Ayel, he surely impressed us. 15 points in total.
No, he surely impressed us and impressed his coaching staff because he was given the trust to be on the starting 6. But again, let's talk about now the set number 3. And again, a story of Budin in that set. He was on fire. Just very consistent in a lot of departments for NU, from offense, defense, and service. But VNS, their energy and their patience in terms of defense was really lacking compared to what they showed in the first set.
Well, actually, a vital statistic would be the digs in this match. You mentioned, on top of this coverage, the floor defense. Before you even mentioned the net defense, you mentioned the floor defense. That is very important for VNS, but they're minus 20 in that category, the digs itself.
No, and it really shows because, it was a show for NU in terms of attacks. From second set to third set, they lacked attempts in their floor defense. Their blocking wasn't as good as it was in their first set, and that's the reason why NU Santa Elena won in 3 sets.
In set number 3, ito po ang ating statistics.
Clearly, NU Santa Elena dominated with 13 attacks compared to just 9 of VNS. Both teams did a little well in blocking, 3 for NU, 2 for VNS. And again, it was the service of NU that really led them to win the 3rd set with 3 service aces and 0 for VNS.
NU closing it out by 7 points in set number 3 after a 2-point closeout in set number 1. Ito ang ating overall statistics. We mentioned the digs a while ago, but if you look at all the other categories, NU able to dominate by the end of it.
NU still dominated with 45 attacks, just 35 for VNS, and blocking as well with 7, 4 for VNS, 26 digs, and 6 digs just for VNS. What we mentioned earlier, that for VNS, they could have done better in the department given that offensively, NU is really strong. And again, the first ball of VNS was just really challenged by the good service game of NU in the 3rd set and 2nd set. They had 5 service aces and just 1 for VNS.
Up next here in the Paco Arena, the Signal HE Spikers will go up against the PGJC Navy Sea Lions, 2 of the top 4 teams in our Open Conference. So stay tuned for that. Again, we thank you for joining us. In behalf of my partner, Ayel Estraniero, our courtside reporter na si Ayana Perlas. My name is Migs Gomez. Thank you for joining us here in your Spike Your Surf 2022 Open Conference. And as always, mabuhay po ang bawat atletang Pilipino.